The illumination of leadership. In a time of deep injustice and transformation, Ella Baker, one of the most quietly powerful figures of the civil rights movement, offered a radical, humble model of leadership. Her words, "Give light and people will find the way," capture the essence of how real, enduring change happens. She did not believe in charismatic, top-down leadership alone. Instead, she trusted in the people, their intelligence, resilience, and capacity to lead themselves once they had access to truth, dignity, and clarity. This essay explores the many meanings of this quote, its philosophical and political roots, its implications for leadership, education, social movements, and personal growth. We'll trace how giving light is not about control, but about empowerment, and how, when people are given knowledge and hope, they can chart their own course toward liberation and justice. Who was Ella Baker, the woman behind the words? Ella Baker, 1903 to 1986, was a behind-the-scenes powerhouse of the civil rights movement. While not as publicly known as Martin Luther King Jr. or Malcolm X, she helped found the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, SCLC, played a pivotal role in creating the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, SNCC, advocated tirelessly for grassroots organizing and participatory democracy. Baker believed that ordinary people, especially the young and the marginalized, had the wisdom and strength to lead themselves. Her quote reflects her belief in the decentralization of power and the transformative effect of shared vision. Unpacking the quote, "Give light." Light here symbolizes knowledge, education, awareness; hope, possibility, faith; truth, clarity, justice; empowerment, the ability to act. Giving light means offering these gifts without imposing control. And people will find the way. This is the trust component. Baker believed that once people are awakened to their dignity and power, they do not need to be led. They will lead themselves. They will act, organize, resist, build, and change. Light as knowledge. In oppressed communities, access to truth has always been revolutionary. The enslaved learned to read in secret. Civil rights leaders spread voter education to combat systemic suppression. Underground schools taught truth beyond colonial narratives. When people understand their rights, their history, and the systems that bind them, they become agents of change. Knowledge is light. Light as hope. Hope is not naive optimism. It is the belief that things can be different, that injustice is not permanent. Baker's work was rooted in hope. Hope that young students could shake the world. Hope that shared leadership could replace hierarchy. Hope that the light of one candle could ignite 1,000 more. To give light is to ignite belief in what is possible. Light as truth-telling. Speaking truth, especially when it's inconvenient, is a sacred act. Ella Baker gave light by exposing the sexism and elitism in some civil rights organizations, defending young activists when elders doubted them, challenging political and economic power structures that exploited the poor. Truth, no matter how painful, clears a path forward. The philosophy of empowerment. Ella Baker's leadership model was based on empowerment, not command. She practiced horizontal leadership over vertical hierarchies, consensus building over charismatic control, listening over speech-making. She didn't give people directions, she gave them light and believed they would create the map. Finding the way. The power of agency. When people are empowered, they stop waiting and start organizing. They shift from complaint to creation. They move from silence to voice. Finding the way means discovering local, creative, community-rooted solutions. It means crafting change from the ground up. Applications in social justice movements, Civil Rights Era, SNCC, Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, embodied Baker's vision. It was youth-led, decentralized, and rooted in community. Voter registration drives, sit-ins, and freedom schools gave people light, and they walked boldly into risk and resistance. Today's movements like Black Lives Matter, Indigenous sovereignty campaigns, environmental justice coalitions, continue Baker's legacy by educating, inspiring, and then trusting local voices to lead. Light in education, teachers as light givers. Education that empowers does more than transmit facts. It encourages critical thinking, teaches students to question power, illuminates paths of possibility. Educators give light when they believe in students' voices and help them discover their own truths. Light in leadership. Leaders often mistake control for strength, but the most transformative leaders share power, lift others, ask questions, create environments of psychological safety. They give light rather than casting shadows. Light in personal life. Baker's quote applies not just to social movements, but to our individual relationships. Parents give light by teaching, not dictating. Friends give light by listening and reflecting truth. Mentors give light by offering guidance, not control. We find our way by walking with those who trust us to find it. Resistance to light. Some institutions fear light. Authoritarian governments censor truth. Corporations hide exploitation. Abusers suppress voice. To give light is also to challenge darkness, to confront the systems and ideologies that rely on ignorance and silence.